And this is how everyone grows up out here?
Yeah.
On horseback, just riding the range?
Yeah, they ride horses even before they start walking.
Really?
Yeah.
Enki tells me that their skill as horsemen was one of the things Genghis Khan was able to use to build an empire. But there were obstacles to overcome. Mainly the incessant raiding and fighting between the tribes. When he was still simply Temujin, he discovered a way of breaking this cycle and uniting the nomads. He rejected the supremacy of the tribe, with family groups each loyal to their own local clan. Temujin promoted those most brave in battle, rather than his own relatives. When he defeated a tribe, he would spare the lower members. He'd invite them to join his tribe as equals. One story relates how he congratulated an enemy soldier for wounding his cheek and gave him a position of honor. In this way, Temujin destroyed old bonds and rivalries at their core. He went out of his way to utterly destroy any family that opposed him. A favorite way of executing leaders was said to have been breaking their spine across a spear. By 1206 AD, he stood unchallenged on the steppe and was publicly proclaimed Genghis Khan, ruler of all the nomads. The 5 tribes were then called by the tribal name of the Khan, Mongol. With the tribes united, a major power was created. His territory was already the size of Western Europe. But he didn't stop there. Bringing together so many men under one banner gave the steppe dwellers a chance to look out to the rich civilizations beyond their borders. For most of my travels, I've had to look under the earth to discover the past. But here in Mongolia, it's right on the surface. The Mongolian nomads are living history. The family cooks a traditional meal, meat boiled in a hide with hot rocks. The nomads eat mostly meat and dairy, relying on their animals, not agriculture, to feed themselves. At the time of Genghis Khan, this reliance on animal protein set them apart from their neighbors. The agrarian civilizations surrounding the Mongols supported huge populations with their efficient grain production, vastly outnumbering the nomads. The Mongols numbered only around 2 million people. How could their small army conquer the territory of 100 million?
Yeah,
thank you.
Okay.
I'd like to stay longer, but now that I've had a glimpse of Genghis Khan's roots, I want to find out his next step. I've seen up close how much the Mongols on the steppe today still live like the nomads did at the time of the Khans. People sleep in gurs and depend on the horse for transport and food. Temujin, later called Genghis Khan, somehow tapped into the strengths of the nomadic people and their lifestyle.
I've come to the National Museum of Mongolian History to find out what turned these nomadic hunters into world-conquering warriors.
Renowned Mongolian archaeologist Dr. Bira Shagdar is here to help me find the answers.
This is Genghis Khan, the founding father of the Mongolian statehood, with his 2 banners. The white one is for peace, the black one for war.
Dr. Bira tells me that in the Mongols' shamanistic religion, the banners carried the warrior's destiny and his soul when he died. They worshipped the god of the sky, and Genghis Khan believed that the sky god told him he should rule the world.
He thought that it was heaven's order that he should become a great leader.
So it sounds like his vision for empire was much broader than the typical Khan's vision.
Yeah, and his philosophy was there should be one Khan, as there is one sun in the heaven. His philosophy was there should be one Khan.
Him?
Yeah, he himself, of course.
Genghis Khan thought his destiny was ordained by God.
He didn't care about class, status, or blood ties. If you followed his way, he rewarded you. If you stood in his way, he destroyed you.
As soon as he unified the tribes, Genghis Khan forbade raiding within Mongolia. With his God-given charge to unite the world under his rule, Genghis had the motive for conquest. But his army of typically 30,000 men was small compared to that of any of his neighbors, could call on vast numbers of men. The Mongols were often outnumbered more than 2 to 1. So how could Genghis Khan defeat his enemies? In Ulaanbaatar, I meet up again with Dr. Chris Atwood, who says he can help answer my question. The first thing to understand is the Mongols' choice of weapon. We've come to meet Bat Monk, who makes bows and arrows in the traditional way, a skill that's been maintained through the centuries.
How many people in the country still know how to do this?
I think 3. 2 in Ulaanbaatar and 1 in the countryside. This is traditional, he says. I mean, this goes back for generations. His father, his grandfather, they were all bow makers, just like him.
The bows are a composite of 3 materials: horn, wood, and sinew. This gives it strength and flexibility. His bows are then covered with a veneer of birch bark. Bat Monk says that at the time of Genghis Khan, most warriors made their own bows.
That flexes a lot, huh? The way this, look at this. Watch the, look at how that horn.
The shape makes this a recurve bow, with the tips curving away from the archer. It adds much more force to the draw than a simple C shape, like a longbow.
So what makes it so strong? Okay, I want to give this thing a shot.
At a range just outside the city, archery lives on as a popular sport. Genghis Khan was famous for promoting people on merit. I wonder if I can make the grade as a Mongol warrior. Historian Peter Marsh is going to help me check out the artillery of the great Mongol horde. But first, I want to practice shooting this bow without a horse, just to get a feel for it.
So Josh, I'd like to introduce you to Ganbatu, one of Mongolia's leading archers. Yeah,
Dumba was very interested in my bow and asked if he could try it out. I didn't get the joke then, but I was about to find out. He gives me a piece of horn to protect my thumb, and a quick lesson on archery, Mongolian style.
Like this. Then you can pull. Oh, that's different. So it's not, we're not pulling with these fingers here.
Right, exactly. You're pulling with the thumb, which is protected with this little device here.
All right, we'll see. We'll give it a shot. Okay. Wow.
I'm a competent archer, but between the thumb ring and the bow's strength, it's a real challenge.
Much stronger bow.